All right, Cowboys Nation, listen up because today we're diving straight into the heart of it. Week 7, baby. The Dallas Cowboys came out on fire, took care of business against the Washington Commanders, and the vibes on the sideline? Unreal. You could feel it. You could see it. The energy was just different. From the moment those guys hit the field, you knew it wasn't going to be just another Sunday. Nah, this was one of those games where the team looked locked in, motivated, and ready to remind the league exactly who America's team really is. Before the kickoff, the sidelines were full of smiles, jokes, and that swagger only Cowboys players can carry. You got guys hyping each other up, cracking jokes, just keeping it loose but focused. That balance between confidence and discipline, man, that's what great teams have. You could see it in the body language, in the way everyone moved. Special teams huddled up, defense pacing back and forth, offense locking eyes with Dak, waiting for the signal. You could feel it building, like a storm just waiting to drop. And let's talk about Dak Prescott for a second, because the man was dialed in. Say what you want about him, but in this game, he looked sharp, calm, in total control of the offense. Every snap, every read, every throw, it felt like he was a step ahead. The chemistry between Dak and CeeDee Lamb? Electric. You can tell these two are on the same wavelength now. Lamb looked confident, composed, and smarter than ever in his routes. After a few ups and downs earlier in the season, it feels like he's really embraced his role as the star receiver of this team. He knows the spotlight's on him, and he's handling it like a pro. What stood out most during the sideline footage wasn't just the highlights or the big plays, but the small things. The way the guys talk to each other, the trust, the constant communication. You hear players shouting encouragement, cracking jokes, but also holding each other accountable. That's what championship teams are made of. You can tell they've been building that brotherhood, that chemistry that separates good teams from great ones. George Pickens, man, what an addition. The dude's personality is infectious. He's loud, he's funny, but he backs it all up on the field. The way he interacts with teammates, the energy he brings to every snap, it's contagious. When he's on the sideline talking his talk, it's not arrogance, it's confidence. It fires everyone up. You can see guys feeding off his energy. And when the camera caught him laughing after a big play, it just showed how much fun this team is having right now. Winning makes everything better, but this looks deeper. It looks like genuine chemistry. Then there's that defense, man. Dan Quinn's crew doesn't just play, they hunt. Every drive, they were collapsing the pocket, hitting hard, talking trash, and backing it up. You could hear the pads popping through the mic'd up footage. Every time Washington tried to get something going, here comes that wall of blue. Linebackers flying around, corners locking down, linemen eating blocks, and still making plays. You could feel the pride in every defensive stand. They weren't just trying to stop Washington. They wanted to dominate them, embarrass them, make a statement. And I gotta mention that one moment where you hear a player shouting, "It don't take nothing special to be special." Man, that line hit deep. It's simple but powerful. What he meant was, just do your job, trust your work, play your role. You don't need to do anything crazy to be great. Just be consistent, be disciplined, and the greatness shows up naturally. That's the kind of mindset that wins championships. You can tell this team's leadership is strong because those words weren't just talk. They were living it on the field. When CeeDee Lamb caught that pass in the middle, the whole sideline exploded. You could hear guys yelling his name, hyping him up. Then later, Dak drops that deep ball into the end zone, and it's like time stopped. The crowd goes wild, players run to celebrate, and the camera catches everyone just losing it on the sidelines. That's the Cowboys energy we've been missing in some of those tougher weeks earlier in the season. That's the spark fans have been waiting to see. And the celebrations, man, classic. You got guys doing little dances, clowning around, having fun. That mix of focus and flair is what makes this team entertaining. You can't fake that joy, it's real. It's the type of atmosphere that tells you this team believes in itself again. When a squad is playing for each other, laughing together, pushing one another to be better, you can feel it through the screen. Even when something went wrong, a dropped pass, a missed block, a penalty, you didn't see heads drop. You saw leaders like Dak, Micah, and CeeDee talking to the younger guys, keeping them locked in. That's growth. That's maturity. That's what good teams do. They respond, not react. Later in the footage, there's this moment where the defense scores that pick six. Absolute chaos. The sidelines erupted. Helmets flying, players sprinting down the sideline, coaches yelling with excitement. It was pure joy. That's the moment that sealed the game and showed how balanced this team really is. The defense isn't just supporting the offense anymore. They're setting the tone, dictating games. You can tell these guys are starting to believe in something bigger than just winning games. It's about identity, pride, and proving that they belong in the Super Bowl conversation. The offense clicking, the defense flying around, special teams making plays. It all came together in this win. It's like the Cowboys finally remembered who they are. Watching the sideline reactions, the banter, the jokes, even the little rivalries between teammates. It's what makes football beautiful. You've got big personalities, emotion, and that family vibe. And when George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are both out there making plays and hyping each other up, it's a show. Those two bring a level of energy that can change the whole atmosphere. And let's be honest, Dak looks more comfortable than he is all year. He's smiling again. You can see it in his demeanor. He's having fun. That's dangerous for the rest of the league. Because when Dak is confident, when the play calling matches his rhythm, this team becomes a nightmare to defend. The offense finally looks balanced, with the run game opening up passing lanes and Dak taking full advantage of it. Every little clip from the sideline just told a story. From the guys joking about each other's haircuts, to the way they talk trash with opponents, to the intensity in those final drives. It's the heartbeat of the team. You can't fake chemistry like that. It comes from shared battles, from long weeks of practice, from losses that sting and wins that heal. And this week, you could tell they were healing. They were having fun again. When the final whistle blew, the camera caught Dak hugging CeeDee, coaches smiling, players dapping each other up, and that familiar phrase echoing through the air. How about them Cowboys? It never gets old, because it means something. It's not just a slogan. It's a statement of pride, of resilience, of belonging to something bigger than the scoreboard. This wasn't just a win against Washington. It was a reminder that when this team plays with passion, discipline, and belief, there's nobody they can't beat. You could feel that confidence building from the sideline to the stands, from the players to the fans. And for the first time in a while, Cowboys Nation can say it loud and proud, these boys are back. And as that final score settled in, the energy didn't fade, it built up even more. You could tell that this wasn't just about beating Washington. It was about sending a message, both to the rest of the league and to themselves. The Cowboys needed a game like this, a game where everything clicked, where the offense and defense played as one, where the sidelines turned into a celebration of chemistry, brotherhood, and belief. You could feel it radiating from every player, from Dak's grin to Micah Parsons' roar, from the linemen's chest bumps to the rookies' wide eyes taking it all in. What stood out in that sideline footage wasn't just the plays, but the conversations. You could hear the heart of this team in the background noise, the laughter after a big stop, the encouragement after a missed assignment, the way veterans talk to the young guys, keeping their heads in it. You can't manufacture that kind of culture. It's built through time, through the grind, through the moments nobody sees when the cameras are off. That's what we saw come alive in Week 7. CeeDee Lamb looked like a man on a mission. His body language said everything. No frustration, no hesitation, just pure focus. Every time he stepped on the field, you could see that confidence. He wasn't trying to prove anything to the media anymore. He was proving it to himself and his teammates. It's like he's embraced what being the number one guy truly means. He's learned that greatness isn't about talking. It's about showing up every week, staying consistent, and letting the work speak louder than the words. And that's what's changed for this team. There's a new level of maturity here. You can see it in the way Dak carries himself. You can hear it in the way players talk during timeouts. There's a patience now. They're not panicking when something goes wrong. They adjust, they communicate, they adapt. That's championship mentality right there. Even the defense, man. You could see how much pride they take in every single stop. When one guy makes a play, the whole sideline reacts like they just scored a touchdown. The energy travels like electricity. You see defensive backs shouting across the bench, linemen hyping each other up, coaches nodding with satisfaction. There's belief in every look, every gesture. And that's dangerous for any opponent because a defense that believes in itself plays faster, hits harder, and never lets up. There's this moment when George Pickens is laughing and shouting on the sideline, just having fun, and you realize how different this team feels now. He's joking, teasing, hyping people up, but it's all love. He brings that spark that every great locker room needs. You need that guy who keeps the mood light but competitive, who can joke around 1 second and lock in the next. That balance keeps the whole team grounded. And you could see Dak feed off that energy. When Pickens and Lamb are both balling out, Dak looks relaxed, like he's back to playing his style of football. He's trusting his reads, moving the pocket, taking deep shots. It's not forced, it's natural again. That's when Dak's at his best, when he's not overthinking, when he's just letting the game flow through him. The chemistry between Dak and his receivers is only getting stronger. You can see it in the timing, in the body language, in those moments between plays where a quick nod or a grin says more than words. That kind of connection doesn't happen overnight. It's built through reps, trust, and belief. And right now, the Cowboys are finally seeing that effort pay off. Watching the sidelines, you also notice the small things that define a good team. Players are talking between drives, helping each other make adjustments. Coaches are calm but demanding. Nobody's yelling out of frustration. It's controlled chaos, the kind you see on teams that know what they're doing. Everyone's got a role, and they're embracing it. One of the most powerful moments came after that interception return for a touchdown. The sideline exploded, and it wasn't just celebration, it was pure validation. That moment symbolized what this team's been working toward. It showed that the defense can create game-changing plays, that every unit contributes, and that no one's bigger than the team. You could see the unity, the togetherness, the pride. And then there's that beautiful chaos of celebration. Helmets flying, coaches smiling, fans going crazy. That's what makes football so emotional. All those hours in practice, all the criticism, all the pressure, it all leads to that one moment of joy. When the players run to the end zone together, shouting, laughing, chest bumping, it's more than a touchdown. It's a release. It's the team saying, "We're here. We're for real." After the game, the vibe didn't fade. The players were still joking, still talking trash and good fun, still laughing with each other. You can tell they like being around each other, and that's a big deal in a long NFL season. When a team actually enjoys spending time together, it shows on the field. The communication's better, the chemistry's smoother, and everyone's willing to fight that much harder for the guy next to them. It's funny because when you watch that sideline footage closely, you realize how much football is about emotion. Strategy and talent matter, sure, but the heart, the connection, the trust, that's what wins games. And this Cowboys team is finally finding that balance between passion and discipline. You can't fake it. You either have it or you don't. And right now, Dallas has it. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL world, the league has officially announced the cancellation of the highly anticipated matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. Sources close to the situation suggest that the decision, sudden and unexpected, has left fans, analysts, and players scrambling for answers, fueling speculation about the underlying causes behind this unprecedented move. While the NFL's official statement remained vague, citing unforeseen circumstances, insiders hint that the cancellation may involve a mix of logistical challenges, internal team conflicts, and possibly health concerns that have yet to be fully disclosed. Rumors are swirling that both locker rooms were in turmoil in the days leading up to the game, with whispers of disagreements between coaching staff and management adding fuel to the fire. Some even speculate that behind-the-scenes negotiations involving player availability and contract disputes may have played a role, creating tension that reached a breaking point. Fans took to social media almost immediately after the announcement, with reactions ranging from disbelief to outrage. Ticket holders and season pass subscribers expressed frustration over the lack of clarity and the disruption to what promised to be a marquee showdown. Meanwhile, sports analysts are already speculating on the potential ripple effects this cancellation could have on playoff positioning and team morale, particularly for a Cowboys squad that has been riding a wave of momentum this season. The Commanders, on their part, have remained tight-lipped, though insiders hint that there may have been internal disagreements over travel plans and player readiness that contributed to the abrupt decision. Meanwhile, bookmakers and fantasy football enthusiasts are left recalculating odds, with this cancellation potentially shifting betting lines and fantasy projections in unpredictable ways. As the NFL scrambles to provide further details, the buzz continues to grow. Will the game be rescheduled, or is this the start of a more chaotic season than anyone anticipated? For now, the league's silence only adds to the mystique, leaving fans and pundits alike to speculate on the real story behind one of the most shocking cancellations in recent NFL history. One thing is certain: the Cowboys-Commanders clash, one of the season's most talked-about matchups, has transformed overnight from a highly anticipated spectacle to the center of a swirling storm of rumors and speculation. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.